Hey guys, welcome to Duel 63. In this duel, I will be using my new deck, which is Machina Geargia, or Machina Geargia. I still don't know which one of the two it is. I always call it Machina since it's similar to machine, but one of the guys I follow on YouTube called it Machina, and I like that pronunciation, lately I've been going with Machina. But yeah, I'm using my Machina Geargia deck. Start with only spells and traps. This has happened before, but then usually one or two turns later I completely swarm the field and I'm like, I have Geargia armor, that's the searcher of this deck. I can search for Geargia Axle later. I'm going to just set up my spells and traps, and he said, watch out, it's Rico. Well, if I just set armor, then I can stop Rico next turn with Phoenix Chain, so that'll be good. And I wasn't really planning on attacking with armor anyway, in case he was lying and it was a high defense monster. Also, you should know this, I originally wasn't planning to narrate this duel. I was planning to put music over it, because yesterday I got very sick, and I'm still feeling very sick today. I wanted to get a duel video out, so I recorded this with my friend junkberserker112 earlier. And I was planning to just put music on it and upload it, but unfortunately, none of the music files I wanted loaded properly, so I had no choice but to narrate when I was feeling good enough to narrate. But yeah, here comes the swarming the field. I have 5 Fates down cards, and here comes Geargia on X. Now, I could go for another Axle and then Exceeds with armor, but I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add gear frames so that I can get, Machina Fortress next turn. And I'm going to attack that card with Geargia and then armor on that one, and it was not Rico, it was Naturia Cherries. Now, of course, he's going to summon 2 new cherries, and I know I can take the cherries out next turn. But because they have weak defense. This is, by the way, his new plan deck, I assume. Like, the duel he did before this, he told me he was using a plan deck. I didn't see much of it. I assume that this is it, because it has cherries and stuff. But it also has Rico and Junk Synchron, I don't really know. But yeah, here I draw Machina Peacekeeper. I'm like, yes! I want it like Machina Peacekeeper or Cannon or whatever, any machine really. So I'm like, okay, Geargia, like, I get Axle with armor, summon it. Geargia, get another Axle, summon it. Overlay, XC summon a new Geargia. Geargia, detach, add, for my graveyard, an accelerator. Then normal summon gear frame. With gear frame's effect, add Machina Fortress. Discard Fortress with Peacekeeper to summon Fortress. So it doesn't really matter if it would have gotten Peacekeeper or Cannon or another Geargia armor or whatever, because I could have summoned Fortress anyway. Now here I go into Papal Operatives to deal some good damage. And then I get rid of Fortress and Peacekeeper to then summon Fortress via its effect after I use Photon, Papal Operatives, effect on Naturia Cherries to deal some good damage. Now, I made a misplay in this turn. After taking out his 2 Naturia Cherries, I should have used my face down compulsory evacuation device on his final face down, and then I could have OTK'd him. I unfortunately forgot this. I knew that both Gores and Tragudia, that I could stop both, and he might have them. I know I can stop both, like with Bottomless and stuff that I have, but yeah, I didn't think of it at the time. Like, in the duel, I thought of it at this exact moment that I should have used it. Like, I just didn't think of the possibility of Rico being there, because I just thought, I'm going to attack it and then double direct attack with Geargia and OCK. Just didn't think of the chance of Rico being there, and I did mention it before. But yeah, no OTK, it doesn't really matter. Here he comes on with Tragudia, I'm like, nope, bottomless trap hole. Yeah, and I did just have a full field, and you don't see that very often. I started with only spells and traps, and here you go, and 2 turns later I have a full field of monsters too. Now here he comes out with Junk Synchron, I'm like, nope, not gonna stop it with Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment pays too much LP at that point. I'm like, Phoenix Chain so it doesn't get its effect, can't summon Rico. Then at this moment he's probably like, I have to summon my synchro monster, so he uses Monster Reborn. I'm like, want to use Judgment? Nah, I'll use that for emergencies later. Would he somehow be able to pull off something really weird that I can't stop with the face downs and the monsters that I already have? So I allow him to synchro because I know I can just have him synchro and then just use compulsory. And he goes into Ally of Justice Catastrophe, and I'm like, yeah, compulsory. Bye-bye. And then I have Solemn Judgment and Starlight Road still set, so even if he would have like Heavy Storm. And here I pretty much have won the game, but I decide to add, I believe, Geargia Arsenal because I feel like it. And then I attack with Geargia Armor and Papilloperative for a perfect win, exact LP damage. But I use Geargia Arsenal to get him an attack in this duel to get Second Tragedy, and then Papilloperative for game. Thank you, junkberserker112, for this duel. This was Duel 63, and I hope to see you guys soon again when I'm not feeling sick anymore. See you guys later.